Hello, and thank you for watching today's Canada Regional Forecast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. So take a look at the jet stream here on Friday morning. We've got a trough beginning to dig across Western Canada. That's only going to become more amplified as we head into the weekend with this huge ridge in the Gulf of Alaska, a big trough over Western United States, and a big ridge over the eastern half of the United States. And so I pointed this out yesterday, but we see a big ridge in the Gulf of Alaska. That forces a lot of warm air northward. We see a big trough digging here. This pulls a lot of cold air southward, and then in advance of this trough, a lot of warm air being drawn northward into the Corn Belt. So a lot of extremes as we head through the weekend and into early next week, with some summer-like warmth across the Corn Belt and early winter chill in the Northwest and the Canadian Prairie. And then again, some unseasonable warmth pushing into Alaska as well as we head through the weekend into the early part of next week. Again, here are those extremes. We'll look at the temperatures over the next 5 days. Again, very cold across the Canadian prairies. Parts of Montana here going off the scale at 20 degrees Fahrenheit, cooler than average. That's about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than average Celsius. They were definitely seeing our first frost and first chances for some snow across the Canadian prairie. No secret there. I'm sure you're all well aware. So look at the precipitation outlook over the next week. Seeing a couple corridors here across the central and southern plains of the U.S. where we're seeing frequent showers and storms. And then here where we've got some winter-like precipitation, the chance for the first round of accumulating snow across the Canadian prairie, parts of Montana, and then some rain falling across southern Manitoba, where we'll stay a little bit warmer, perhaps seeing some snow mix in there, but not talking about so much in the way of accumulating snow. In southern Montana, why don't we just go ahead and dive into things instead of trying to do the whole forecast on the snapshot look there. The satellite picture on Friday morning, a very cloudy, overcast and gloomy day starting off across the Canadian prairie. Down here you can see some little bubbles popping up down close to where we live here. Those are going to be some thunderstorms moving into our area later on today in the warm sector of all of this. The radar picture here Friday morning, again, a gloomy, kind of rainy day. Some showers falling in southern Saskatchewan from Saskatoon through Regina and on through southeastern Saskatchewan. Maybe some light showers falling across the high plains here, the front range here from Grand Prairie southward towards just west of Edmonton. In this area, maybe some light rain showers falling. The last 24 hours of precipitation, we saw a couple areas here picking up some significant precipitation, around a half of an inch or around 12 to 20 millimeters of precipitation. I've got it in inches here, unfortunately. And then just a trace or so across parts of southern Alberta. Checking in with the jet stream, we'll take a look at where we're going. We'll bring it back. Again, we got this subtle trough just kind of sitting across the region here, but this becomes really amplified as we watch the western edge here begin to dig in across the western U.S. There it is, taking us into Sunday. Now we see this alignment here, the big ridge, trough, ridge. And that is what sets us up for the extremes here. And unfortunately, in the Canadian prairie, you are on the cold end of the extremes here as we head into early next week. Now, the good news is this isn't necessarily permanent. We do see this trough begin to eject here as we get into midweek. Unfortunately, the cold temperature is going to be lingering on the backside for at least the remainder of the coming work week. But at least we're not plunging necessarily into an early winter and then just sitting in it as we head through the month of October. It does look like this is kind of just an early chill that we're going to have to weather. We'll take a look at the precipitation forecast then. Getting started here on Friday, again, just seeing this very light precipitation making its way through the area, maybe some heavier showers across southern Manitoba, most of that making its way out of the area, though, as we head into the later part of the day on Friday. Taking it through Friday afternoon, again, probably going to be dry for most of us, maybe starting to see some very light snow falling in the high elevation areas here of western Alberta. As we head into the overnight hours, that's when we start to see the storm system begin to organize across the southern plains or the northern plains of the United States as we head into the weekend. So we're at 7 p.m. on Saturday now. As we head into Saturday night, perhaps seeing some light snow falling across southern Alberta, getting into southern Saskatchewan, really picking up as we head into the day on Sunday, though. So this is when we'll see the heavy snow begin to fall across southern Alberta and southern Saskatchewan heading through the day on Sunday. This lingers into Sunday night and Monday morning, coming to an end in Alberta as we head through the day on Monday. Snow beginning to end from west to east as we head into the Monday overnight and then Tuesday time frame. As we talk about southern Saskatchewan, the heaviest snow falling in this area, again, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and then perhaps into Sunday night. A chance now as we head into southern Saskatchewan and southwestern Saskatchewan, some warm air here, perhaps meaning we change over to rain or stay all rain in southeastern Saskatchewan during the day on Sunday. And then across Manitoba, perhaps mixing in a few snowflakes here. Probably going to be mostly rain unless you head northward into about central Manitoba, perhaps seeing some snow mixing in on the back side of this, but not talking a lot about accumulations in this area. It's really going to be southern Alberta into southern Saskatchewan, kind of this corridor here where we talk about the most snow accumulating here in the Canadian Prairie heading through the weekend. So that kind of timed it out. Let me do it one more time for you here. Just focusing on this storm system here. Perhaps some light snow starting during the day on Saturday in southern Alberta. The snow really picking up, though, in southern Alberta and southern Saskatchewan as we head into the day on Sunday. This is really a Sunday event. This is when conditions could be rather treacherous across southern Alberta into especially southeastern and south central Saskatchewan during the day on Saturday. Strong winds on the backside of this, heavy snow at times Sunday into Sunday night. Lingering into Monday morning, especially across Saskatchewan, and then tapering off from west to east from there. As we take a look at the total accumulated snow, this is just from the GFS model, and this is one output, so of course this could change slightly, but we'll go ahead and we'll pause it, taking a look at the total accumulations from this storm system again. Heaviest in southern Alberta into southern and south central Saskatchewan. Across southeastern Saskatchewan, probably more of a rain-snow mix with less in the way of accumulations in that area, and then really tapering off as we head into Manitoba, really just looking at maybe a trace of snow accumulating in that area, but we'll take a zoomed-in look here in just a moment at each individual location. Of course, if we're talking about accumulating snow, we're talking about frost as well. Pretty high probability that just about everyone sees their first frost over the coming week. The only question mark I have is going to be far southern Alberta, or far southern Manitoba. Far southern Alberta, perhaps. I did it again. Far southern Manitoba, perhaps flirting with enough warm air here that maybe some isolated areas don't have that first frost, but I think just about everyone in the Canadian Prairie are going to be seeing their first frost as we head through the coming week. Zooming in now, total liquid precipitation across Alberta here. Again, heaviest off to the south. We'll go ahead and we'll pause it at the end of this loop here. South of south central Alberta here, this is where we can pick up anywhere from 20 upwards of 50 to 70 millimeters of liquid precipitation. So we talk about snow, that's where we could see the significant snowfall. Heaviest as we get into the higher elevation areas here, but portions of southern Alberta here, perhaps flirting with anywhere from 15 to 30, perhaps locally higher than 30 millimeters or 30 centimeters of precipitation. Really a sharp cutoff as you head northward. The difference between no snow and picking up 15 centimeters of snow, not going to be very far. So again, that's what makes snow forecasting so difficult, is the high difference in the forecast, or the high difference in variability in snow accumulation over just a very short distance. So this storm system, no different. A very sharp line dividing the no snow between significant accumulating snow, but heaviest as you head off toward the south, towards the Alberta and the U.S. border, where higher than 30 centimeters of snowfall is going to be possible. Your high temperatures for the day on Friday, pretty chilly. High temperatures around 10 in the south, the single digits as you head northward. Overnight lows close to freezing. 0 degrees, 1 degree, negative 1 degree, give or take there as we head into the overnight. Saturday, your high temperatures in the single digits. Saturday night, low temperatures again very near zero. And then Sunday, your highs going to be near zero, where we've got snow falling in the south, single digits north from there. Looking at Saskatchewan and Manitoba, the total liquid precipitation, once again, a sharp cutoff here between dry and very wet through the next week. In southern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba, picking up approximately 30 to 50 millimeters of precipitation. The northern half of Saskatchewan and Manitoba likely going to be mostly dry, just some very light showers here as we get the weekend started. Accumulating snow now, we're talking about 15 to 30 millimeters of snow accumulating across southwestern and south central Saskatchewan. As you look at southeastern Saskatchewan, probably mixing in some rain here, maybe a heavy wet snow accumulating several millimeters of precipitation or snow here in this area, but going to be heaviest as you head off towards the west and then towards south central Saskatchewan. Then looking at southern Manitoba, this is where we might see some snowflakes mix in, but likely not looking at anything in the way of significant snow accumulations across the prairie of southern Manitoba. Your high temperatures for the day on Friday, 10 degrees, 11 degrees across southern Manitoba, single digits elsewhere. Overnight lows getting close to freezing across southern Saskatchewan, a few degrees above that in southern Manitoba. Your high temperatures on Saturday, single digits elsewhere, pretty much widespread, hanging on to double digits there, right around 10 or 11 degrees for the Saturday high in southern Manitoba and close to the U.S. border in southeastern Saskatchewan. Overnight lows on Saturday night, very close to freezing again in southern Saskatchewan, about 5 degrees, 6 degrees or so in southern Manitoba. And then your high temperatures for the day on Sunday are very close to freezing in southern Saskatchewan as we begin that period of heavy snow on Sunday across, again, especially southwestern Saskatchewan into southeastern or south central Saskatchewan. Rain falling pretty much elsewhere across the region. Your overnight lows on Sunday near freezing again, just pretty much hanging out around freezing for the weekend in southern Saskatchewan, and then across Manitoba, your high going to be around between 6 to 8 degrees, and that again why we're expecting mostly rain across this area. Now, as we look ahead to next week, and I'm talking to you in southern Alberta and southern Saskatchewan, the core of the coldest air moves in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. We could see overnight low temperatures between -5 and -15 across those regions. So extremely cold. Very likely that we'll see low temperatures probably in that -10 to -15 range across southern Alberta and southern Saskatchewan Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning. That is very cold for this time of year. As always, Eric Snodgrass will have an in-depth look at the next 1 to 2 weeks in our Monday Morning Ag Forecast video, and I will also be back to kind of recap things with our next Canadian Prairie forecast on Monday morning as well. Have a great weekend. Stay warm. Didn't bring me any joy to bring this early winter forecast to you while I am enjoying summer-like warmth here in the Midwest of the United States, but do your best. Send me all your winter weather photos if you do get any there. You can send them to me in email, andrew.pritchard@nutrien.com. I'm also on Twitter @SkyDrama. So have a great weekend. Stay warm. I'll talk to you again on Monday morning.